town has a ghost story that's been passed down through the generations. But what if those legends were true? My name is Miranda Young, and I'm the Ghost Biker. Hey everyone, and happy first weekend or first Thursday of September. We are live here on the Ghost Biker Garage. I am your host, the Ghost Biker, and I am here in one of the top 5 haunted locations here in East Tennessee, as ranked by Blue Ridge Magazine and also Haunted or Not app, and by our peers here. We're so proud of that, at the historic Scott County Jail. And so I want to thank everyone so much for tuning in tonight. We are on the countdown to season 6 of Ghost Biker Explorations, and we've got a lot of really cool things planned. Got some great shows for our live stream here coming up. Going to be releasing some trailers talking about what's coming up in season 6 that will drop the first Tuesday night in October. Lots of really cool things going on, but I want to take a few minutes and just say hello to everyone that's taken the time tonight to join in and watch the show. So hello to Miss Susan Purcell, my business partner, Dr. Christy Sumner. Hello. Angie Dameron, they're from out in Virginia with Bedford Paranormal, and one of the other teammates there, Mr. Ronnie Anderson from Bedford. And then, of course, Miss Sonia Thompson from The Walking Dead. Hello. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Daryl Paulette. Hello. Thank you all. And as Christy said, yes, woohoo for number 5. We are so excited about that. We did get ranked in the top 5. Blue Ridge Magazine, they put it out there, ranking the different locations in the North Carolina, Southern Kentucky, Northern Georgia area. And we are very honored about that. Everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. We do have a great show tonight that we will definitely be getting to here in a few minutes, but we want to take some time and kind of talk about some of the really cool things that we do have going on here at the jail, going on with Ghost Biker Explorations, and really everything that's going on around, because we're getting here into the spooky season and there's a lot of really cool things going on. And yes, Janet, this is definitely going to be an awesome show tonight. We were talking about that just beforehand. Wow. So many people on here. Thank you all so much for watching. Scott Horn from all the way out in South Dakota. We're looking forward to the event that's going to be coming up here at the end of the month, and we're going to talk about here in a few minutes. Miss Deb Ironton, hello, and Michelle Poth. Hey, thank you guys so much for watching. Got to see them at the Deep South Paracon last month there in Southern Alabama. That was so much fun. And then, of course, Mr. Brandon Cooper. You know, I was on his show this past Sunday night on Shaman Sundays. We had the best time talking about everything that's going on. It was a really great show. If you missed that, you can go back to our page, check it out. It was Shaman Sundays. Also, last Thursday night, I was on the Spirit Box Radio with Mr. Greg Bacon out of Minnesota, and we had such a wonderful conversation. So if you didn't catch those podcasts live, please go check those out and follow up on those. Also, last week, we did have Mr. Rich Valdez. We were talking demonology here on the show, and we had a great conversation about his show that he has going out on the Legion of Exorcists. And so if you didn't catch that one, he covered a lot of really great topics talking about exorcisms, demonology, the show, and all the cool things that he's got going on in his experience as a demonologist and paranormal investigator. So definitely want to go check that out. Marlena Beers, hey, thank you so much for tuning in. And of course, Alan May. We've got most of Bedford Paranormal on here. So appreciate you guys tuning in and watching. And so, like I said, we got some really interesting things that are coming up. Want to make sure to mention, let me get these pulled up here on the screen. Bear with me just one second. So want to talk about an event that's coming up really, really quick here at the end of the month, September 29th and 30th. Going to be out in Deadwood, South Dakota at Sacred Mountain Retreat Center for the Spirits of Deadwood. And we've been talking about this for about the last 2 months. And also 2 weeks ago, we did have the folks from Sacred Mountain Retreat, as well as Horn Paranormal, on here talking about all the cool things that are going on. We also talked about this on Brandon Cooper's show last Sunday. But with this event, all the funds go to Sacred Mountain Retreat. And that is such a wonderful event to be tied to. They are their event, or excuse me, their all the funds go to them, and that sets up a week retreat there in the Black Hills, and that is for first responders, for Gold Star families, for our veterans, their equine program, their puppy program. I mean, there's so much that this goes to with Sacred Mountain Retreats. So we're going to talk just a little bit about the packages here, but I'm really honored to be one of the para celebrities that's on here that's going to be leading the investigation at the historic Bullock Hotel, as well as the brothel Deadwood and the Fairmont Hotel. On the link here that we're going to pull up a little bit later here in the show, you can see the different packages that they have. And they've got the general admission, which is 3 locations investigating with the celebrities, and it's $75 for that general admission. But you can also go in, you can purchase individual and 2 people, regular packages, as well as VIP packages. And those do cover the hotels. So this does have a nice breakdown of it. And if you can't make the event, there are a lot of links online where you can go and you can donate to the actual event itself. You can also donate to the different specific programs that Sacred Mountain has. It's just going to be a fun time. And again, what better place to be if you're a biker or a paranormal investigator that you can go out there and be in South Dakota. And as Scott says, he says 3 of the most haunted spots in Deadwood. And these, we talked about this on the show. These locations are within walking distance of each other. So, you can go, you can investigate these locations. You can go and do the history during the day. We're going to be doing history tours. It's going to be a wonderful Paracon here. Also, let me go ahead and pull up the next event that I want to make sure to mention. This is also coming up really quick, and we do have limited tickets on it. We've been talking for the last couple months as well about the Ghost Biker Explorations Hogs and Haunt Weekend. And this is going to be taking place up in London, Kentucky. It's a partnership between Wildcat Harley-Davidson as well as London Laurel County Tourism Commission. We're trying to promote tourism in the area of London, Kentucky, and also talk about, paranormal tourism, as well as getting out there and supporting the local businesses. And all the funds raised from this investigation goes to the London, Kentucky Shop with a Cop program. And of course, here in rural Appalachia, in southern Kentucky, eastern Tennessee, southern Virginia, that program is extremely important. And sometimes that's the only Christmas that some of these children get, is through the Shop with a Cop program. So all the funds go to this. This is a very limited investigation. So for the entire weekend, it's going to start at 10 a.m. on Saturday, October 14th. And we're going to be having a meet and greet there at Wildcat Harley-Davidson. There's going to be food, there's going to be entertainment, but there's going to be from 10 till 2. And you're going to be able to come by. It doesn't matter if you're a paranormal investigator, if you're a biker or a history enthusiast. You don't have to ride a motorcycle or anything. You can come, and you don't have to ride a Harley. You can ride any type of bike. So definitely show up at the meet and greet from 10 to 2 on October 14th. And then we're going to take a little bit of a break. And then at 7 p.m., we're going to meet for the investigation. Now, this investigation is taking place at an undisclosed cave in southern Kentucky. Don't know of a lot of people who have investigated a cave or had an event at a cave. So it's going to be a really cool experience, because we're going to be going into that total sensory deprived state, going underground, and not going to have the interference with our equipment for light, sound, what have you. But this is going to be so much fun. And we do limit the tickets. We're only selling 15 tickets, trying to keep it to a small, intimate experience. And of course, since we're going to be underground, it doesn't really matter, if it's light or dark out, because it's going to be pitch black down there. So tickets are $45 each. and we do have the Eventbrite links and everything up there. I'm actually going to go ahead and copy that as we speak. So you guys can go into the comments section. You can click on that. You can also go to the Ghost Biker Explorations page and pull that up. It goes straight there to it. So get your tickets while you can, because those tickets will be selling out extremely fast. I'm not sure the count exactly how many we have left, but I do know that that we have sold several already, and that is going to go out pretty quick. Also on Sunday, let me go ahead and pull this off. So we're going to round out the weekend with a haunted motorcycle ride that will start. I believe we're meeting at noon on Sunday, and it's going to be kickstands up at 1 p.m. We do have 7 of these tickets remaining. This is a free motorcycle ride. It's going to be, I think it's about 150-mile motorcycle ride. It's going to take place over about 3 hours, and it's going to be a fall foliage ride that takes place through southern Kentucky. There are 7 spots remaining, and basically you got to go on here and register for it, because we're keeping the numbers limited on this. If by chance you're wanting to come and do the ride and it says that there are no spots remaining, reach out to me or Chris at Wildcat Harley Davidson, or even Kelly in London at the London Tourism Commission, and let us know, because sometimes, last year we had some people that signed up that didn't show up. So some people were kind of knocked out of their spots. So we're trying to definitely fix that type of situation. So if you want to come and it says that there are no spots remaining, just reach out, and we will we'll make accommodations for that. But that will be a free event. So like I said, a lot of really, really cool things going on. Also, if you're trying to book a paranormal investigation, one of our flashlight tours, lantern tours, and you've been unsuccessful this evening, I do know that Square has been down. And so hopefully they're working to fix that issue. But I do know that we've not been able to have people make credit card purchases or booking purchases here. So definitely keep an eye out on that. We will keep you posted. We do have that listed on all of our sites, and apparently it's a nationwide outage that Square has yet to address. So hopefully they do get that fixed so we can proceed forward with the tours. I know we do have a tour here at the jail tomorrow night at I believe it's 8 p.m. Eastern time. It's a flashlight tour. We do have a few tickets left for that. If you get on there and you try to get your ticket, definitely, and you can't for whatever reason, please call us and we'll make sure that you do get a spot, because we do have a bunch of tickets out there for September and October. Those are filling up fast for the lantern tours and the flashlight tours, guided ghost hunts, as well as the investigations. So definitely, if you can't do that, please call us at 423-663-5353. And as Chris says, Square is ridiculous. They're very quick to hit you with payments, or with fees, but not very quick to address their issues. And as she said, it is worldwide. So I do have pulled up here on the page our historic rugby after dark page. Basically, we just opened. So we have 2 tours there, and we just opened the Haunted North Village Cemetery tour. That is going to start the weekend of September 16th. So get on there. It's been a much anticipated tour, and it's a 90-minute tour that takes you through the north end of the village as well as the cemetery. And then our regular haunted downtown village tours, they're just trucking away. Very popular right now. We do have a bunch of those. With spooky season, you're going to want to get on there and get your tickets quick. So you can do that by visiting historyhighwayshaunts.com and going to the historic rugby after dark page. So, okay. We'll talk a little bit more about all that stuff a little bit later, but I know tonight's guests, they are extremely busy, so I want to really thank them for taking the time to come on tonight and talk about the Paracon that they're holding this weekend. I know a lot of you have seen a lot of really cool things about this online, but I want to go ahead and welcome my guests, Miss Laurissa Rex from Third Eye Event Production, and
hello,
here from Waldorf State of Fear. Hey, ladies.
Hi, good evening.
Thank you all so much for coming on. I know you've been extremely busy with what you all have coming up. And I know it's much anticipated.
Yeah, thanks for having us on. We're excited to be here.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So why don't we go ahead and start by talking about who you are before we get into the Paracon, and then talking about the Paracon itself.
Okay. I'll go first. Hi, Angie, Waldorf State of Fear. I've owned a haunted attraction for 19 years now. I've been running Waldorf. It was at a different location for about 7 years, and now it's at the current location it is. And I met up with Laurissa about 2 years ago, right, Laurissa?
Yeah,
2,
about
3 years ago. Yeah. And she told me that my haunted house was haunted. So it was like a little marriage of the two of us, horror and paranormal. And here we are doing a Paracon, which is a lot of work. Everyone who holds a Paracon, oh my God. You guys are amazing because it is a ton of work. And it is 3 weeks before I open the haunted attraction. So it's a little crazy for me to be preparing for both, but exciting too. I'm looking forward to meeting everyone.
Wonderful. And so if people aren't familiar with Waldorf Estate of Fear, where might they have heard of this before?
Well, if you've seen the movie Hell House LLC, you've seen my haunted attraction. All 3 movies that are currently out were filmed there. I've had the honor of working with Stephen Cognetti. He's a great director, and some excellent actors who really portrayed, what we were trying to sell, which is a paranormal movie and a haunted attraction. And now we actually have that. So, Hell House. The new one is coming out. I think I just saw Terror Films dropped October 30th, a brand new Hell House coming out. So, or the origin. So we're excited about that. And it's a great time. We love Halloween.
Just in time. And if anyone has any questions for tonight's guest, if you don't mind, please just put them in all caps over here, because I am manning the comments as well as pulling up things, and I want to make sure that I don't miss you guys over there. So if you have any questions, please feel free to put those on there. And so, of course, Miss Laurissa, why don't you tell us about how you got started and a little bit about Third Eye Event Productions as well?
So I got started in 2020. We started a team. Our flagship team was High Spirits of Palmerton Paranormal. Yeah, a long time ago. We've come a long way. Then about, I don't know, maybe 6 or 7 months into that team, my daughter went to go work at the Waldorf. My daughter's a medium. I'm a medium. Obviously, she gets it from me. She went to work at the Waldorf to do makeup for Angie, and I think this is going to be her 3rd year doing that. So actually, Angie, it's 3 years. It's not 2.
Right.
It's her 3rd year doing it, and she went to go do makeup, and she came back and she said, "Mom, it's haunted in there." And I said, "Well, is it haunted or is it just creepy?" And she was like, "Oh no, it's haunted. They talk to me, they touch me." I'm like, okay. She said, "You need to get with my boss, Angie." So I approached Angie, and Angie was like, "Yeah, absolutely. Come on in." And we've been investigating it ever since and doing research there. But last year I approached Angie about, I decided to evolve and do some events also. And I made Third Eye Event Productions. Our 1-year anniversary is actually September 30th. So right around that time, I was messaging Angie, and I was like, "Hey, you want to have a Paracon?" And it's so funny because she didn't even know. She's like, "Yeah, sure." Like,
yeah, all right. I mean, I'm used to dealing with a lot of people. You know what I mean? We our attraction. We get a lot of stuff, but it's a little different. I've had vendors at my attraction too in the Midway, a couple vendors, but not like managing all talent and vendors and speaking. It's just a lot. Yeah,
Absolutely.
And I'm sorry, Miranda.
No, I was just going to say, and Angie down here, her comment, Bedford Paranormal, they've hosted Enigma Cons there at St. Albans in Virginia for 7 years. And, I've got to say, I mean, as far as events that I've done, they put on, it was such a wonderful event because they keep it no drama and just all the work they put into it. I know that they start the minute the other one's over, probably even before the other one begins, they start on it. So definitely a lot of work.
Yeah. So we're learning.
And then of course, Jamie says that she sees Brandon's beautiful beard hovering in the background.
Hi, Jamie.
So we do actually have a question. I want to make sure we don't miss this as we're going through here. Janet Alm says, the clown, was he brought in for the movie, or is he a resident of Waldorf, A State of Fear?
He is a resident now, but he was brought in for the movie. Yes, right. So yeah, but he does reside at Waldorf. And if you're coming to Paracon this Saturday, you can actually get pictures with the clown in the basement all day long. We're doing pictures with the clown in the basement. We have a professional setup, and we'll print you a 5x7 right there. It's like $15 for a photo, and that is the only way you're getting into the basement, the real basement, during Paracon, is if you buy a picture. So yeah.
So do you find that the haunt brings out a different type of activity than the activity that happened or that was originally associated with the house?
Laurissa, yes.
Yep. So when we first went in there, I was very confused when I was reading. I couldn't really make out, at that time, I've been a medium my whole life, so I had never encountered egregore or tulpa activity, and if I had, I wouldn't have known the difference, honestly. So the Hell House has so many layers to it, and when I first went in there to read, I was like, okay, is this an intelligent haunt, or is this residual? That's all I really understood, and then we figured out the layers. There's organic haunting, there's residual, there's actually egregore activity, because that haunt generates so much energy that what the spirits in that house, they're mimicking the movie, or there's an egregore doing it. And the research is just, honestly, Miranda, it's nonstop. I mean, we're 3 years in, and it's just something new every time we go there.
Oh, I'm sure. And I guess you change your haunt up like most places every season.
Yes.
So yeah. I would say that
part of it. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I'm sure that probably increases and changes the activity even more if it's playing off of the haunt.
And the movie also.
And the movie, yeah. Mm-hmm.
We have something called cloaks. I don't know if you've seen it in the movie or not, but in the movie there are cloaks. Well, in Hell House, not just my team, not just psychics, other teams have gone in there. People who don't have psychic gifts have seen these things running in the hallway.
Wow. Well, let's kind of back up. What's some of the stories, or what is the history of this location, Waldorf, A State of Fear?
Angie,
Laurissa.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
the paranormal story, yeah.
Yeah. So we had Interstate Paranormal Research came in March to do their investigation, and they at the time had a historian named Brenda Dembski, and I always mention her because she is the only person in 2.5 years that was able to find anything on this location. We tried records with the township, nothing. All that we knew was that Angie knew that it was a restaurant before she had bought it. Okay.
Okay.
Well, the land actually goes back to 1742. This building was one of 8 original farms. And if you know anything about this part of Pennsylvania, it's coal mining and it's Amish, and that's who settled it. The same pretty much 10 family names are still here that were here in the 1700s, basically.
Wow. Okay.
Angie has one of those names. So honestly, it was one of eight farms. And then it was owned by a man named Abraham. And we had actually met Abraham and were able to confirm he was really legitimately an entity because he was in this history stuff that she presented.
Cool.
Yeah. Then it was at one time a hotel. And so we figure it did have brothel activity just because it was a hotel where it's located and whatnot.
Time frame,
1800s. The land goes back to 1742 in the original 8 farms. The building, however, was 1858. The other farms, there was a schoolhouse also somewhere on this property. That's obviously long gone. One of the sister farms is actually underneath Beltsville Lake, which is not too far from us. The church and the graveyard were all flooded by the Army Corps of Engineers in 1979. So the property has like so much. There was a fire. So it has like a lot that really happened in it. It was also a restaurant twice, and it also was a home. at one time.
Wow. Wow. So a lot of history to pull from. And that's great that you guys are able to go back and validate your history through the hauntings that you're capturing in your evidence.
We really only got that history half a year ago or something. Not even beginning of this year. We had no history till Brenda, she was the one that found it, because we had looked and I couldn't find anything past the 1960s.
Me too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, yeah. So it did put a lot of things together for Laurissa. And all of you have to keep in mind, like, I'm the horror girl. She's the paranormal. So I'm a baby. You guys talk about all this paranormal stuff that I don't really understand or know what you're talking about, but I'm learning. So
you didn't have any paranormal experiences, or, I
well,
mean,
I didn't say like weird, a few weird things has happened, but since Larissa's there, a lot more weird things I noticed. Yeah. Yeah. Like someone growling next to me. Yes. So there've been a couple instances where I've seen a light anomaly, you know, caught on camera, that kind of stuff. But before that, I would say, you know, just a door slam that is a little weird that it shouldn't slam, but nothing crazy. But now I am a little more in tune, especially when we're in there more with her, a little more in tune. But like today, when you were walking around and you and her and Brandon were walking around today, and I heard them talking about stuff, I didn't see shit. I don't hear anything. I don't see anything. Whatever. I'm in the basement doing my thing. Leave me alone.
Well, you know, you kind of start to get a little numb to it when it happens all the time around you. I know here, you know, we have stuff happen during the day, during the night, while we're doing podcasts. It doesn't matter. And you kind of get numb. Things start to happen, and you'll start hearing movement going on. You'll know there's nobody upstairs or around, but you kind of forget that when you're here all the time and it just happens. I would imagine it's probably similar there.
I really want something crazy to happen. Like, this is my, like Larissa's saying, like, I want it to, like, I want to know positively, like, make something move, or I want to see you because I don't see anything, you know?
So, I had somebody yell in my ear when I was vacuuming the other day, Angie. I was scared. I will tell people, I don't care what people think. I am scared. I get very frightened. Okay. Especially if I can usually sense them, and I can usually be like, okay, go away or see them. But in that house, there are a couple of them that love to scare you because they're in a haunted attraction. So they will pop up and scare the crap out of me. One of them shouted my name in my ear while I was vacuuming. I jumped 50 feet. I turned and looked at the doorway to see if anybody was in there, and I saw a man pop his head out. I was like, okay, I can't be up here by myself.
She doesn't go places. Yeah. She'll be like, okay. I'm like, she'll be like, I have to go to the bathroom. I'm like, I need to go with you. Or she's going to put something upstairs. And she goes, you know, I'm not going up there by myself. I'm like, okay, let's go.
So Laurissa, have you always had this gift or practiced with it since you were a child, or is this something that you've kind of come into later in life?
So I was born with it, but I won't bore you with my whole family history, but I do have on my dad's side, they were, and don't laugh, but they were gypsies and carnies. Mm-hmm. And my mom's side was uneventful. They were Roman Catholic. So I was raised with my mom's family, not my dad's family. So my dad's family was a little more witchy. My mom's family wanted nothing to do with it. So when I started exhibiting signs, and I exhibited them from 18 months old, my mom said, even when she was pregnant with me, she had things happen to her that she had never had happen in her life. So they kind of, you know, you didn't talk about it. They were old school Italians. Oh my God, it's evil. Don't talk about it. So I really didn't do much with it. I went on with my life. I was in the Army for almost 20 years. You can't tell the Army that you see dead people. So you can't. So I didn't talk about it much there. And then it wasn't until I got out and started to actually practice. I don't channel. I don't do a lot of the things that people should tell me I should be doing. And I'm not bragging because I don't think I'm that great at what I do, but I don't need to. Like, I can just go somewhere and I see them. Just see them.
Well, and And as Chris says, thank you for your service. That's been a theme this year. We've had a lot of veterans on and talked about a lot of the different programs, and even some active military talking about it, and some of the stories that people have coming out from when they were in the military and places that they've sort of discreetly investigated, or even just the barracks themselves that they've lived in. They've got some incredible stories that come out of there.
I have some incredible stories and things I can't explain that were terrible that happened on base. If you want to talk about them, but I'll let you,
Well, we may have to do a whole other show on that, because it's been a topic I've really, truly enjoyed having folks on sharing their stories, because it really does lend a different credibility to it, with when you have our military and first responder folks sharing some of these stories. I'm wanting to make sure I don't miss any questions or anything in here, so I don't mean to jump around or anything. Ronnie Anderson says, do you think you are opening up to the paranormal now, Angie?
Yeah, I would assume, like, I've always believed in paranormal. I want to believe, but I am a big skeptic. If you ask Laurissa, I need proof. And I think that's only right. You can't walk around saying everything's paranormal. Oh, I heard something. It could be anything in that house. It could be a raccoon. I don't know. But I do think maybe everybody has something in them, and it's not till someone else brings it out of you. Maybe, I don't know. So yeah, my mom goes on paranormal investigations and she's all into it and stuff. So I want, yeah. So yeah, your answer is yeah. I think more will happen now because everybody's around and because it's always been there. Like, it's always there when Larissa's there. And like today I was back there. I ran back there. I mean, I literally showered to come on your show. I was working all day long. My husband came home and I went back to Waldorf into the basement because my camera wasn't working. I'm like, are they really screwing with me now? Can't get the camera to work. I'm in the basement. My phone's on SOS because there's no service down there. Like, it's insane. But I was in there by myself and I'm like looking around, looking in the little cage, Laurissa. Nothing's happening. So disappointed.
Oh, that's funny. Angie, actually, Miranda, when I started telling her all the ghosts that were in there, like naming them, she was like, where?
I didn't hear until a podcast, and she starts naming all these people. In my head, I'm going, what? Are you kidding me? Like, all these people are here, and no one's like said, hey, Ange. Like, hello?
They're not friendly.
What a way to drop a bomb.
I do talk to them now, when I come in, get them hyped up. People are coming in. Please be nice, that kind of stuff. Yeah. I don't know if they care that I talk to them, but I do.
They do. They like Angie a lot. They don't mess with her.
Yeah.
That's something really to be said.
Yeah.
That's something to totally be said about that, because we have a haunted location, and now it's not in an investigated location, but it is a haunt in Knoxville that was a former murder house. And so not many people have gone in to investigate it. I think maybe one or two, but there's something special about having a location that is that's haunted, that's a haunt, Yeah. So I've always been interested in how it affects the activity.
Yeah. I always am like, it would be awesome. It's like a double-edged sword. Like, it'd be awesome that your haunted house is haunted, but will people be scared to work there?
Do you find that to be the case?
I think now that we talk about it a lot, like, somebody did say to me, like, during auditions, so I heard there's paranormal here. Like, do we see them? And I'm like, no, we don't see them unless you have some kind of special ability that we don't know, and you're not going to tell me. But no, you don't know they're here with you. So people are talking about it. Yes. So I don't know, but so I know I have about 72 employees, and they're all going to be working. So everybody seems to be cool with it. So
nice. And speaking of seeing, this is Janet has a question for Laurissa. Says, how do they appear when you see them? Solid like regular people, or a mist, or something else?
So hello, Janet. Good question. I see them several types of ways. One, I have seen them clear as day, the way that I'm looking at you guys. Okay. And it's actually been like, oh my God, is that a real person? And then it takes a second and you realize, oh my God, they're not there. That's not real. I see them in my mind's eye. That has always been my main sight my whole life. But since doing this for a couple of years now I see more full bodied. I can see, like a person. But the real way that I have learned to identify that somebody is there and to focus, the environment will look blurry, like puddled water. And I will know somebody is standing there. I will know somebody is sitting. And then I can focus in and see them. It's a new thing. It's just started recently. I don't know why I started paying attention to that in the environment, but completely can pick it up now.
That's really fascinating. I know we've talked to several different mediums on here, and it's always interesting to see the similarities and the differences of how people see what they're talking to. And I couldn't even imagine, some of the stories I've had that people have dealt with from being a child, how scary that would be, because it is such a blurred line between, I don't want to say reality, because that is their reality. They are there, but from what I guess everybody else sees versus what they're seeing themselves.
Absolutely. It was terrifying. Being a child was terrifying, and not being able to communicate that and to lay in your bed and know that they're there. You're just like, you're just terrified.
Yeah, absolutely. And looking at the comments here, Marlena says that Angie is like the cool aunt to them, that they love her.
Yeah. Awesome. Yay.
And then Angie from St. Albans says the actors at St. Albans experience a lot of activity during the haunted house.
So I've only had people who were like a little special that have said that they had something happen to them. Like I had a Wiccan who worked for me, and he insisted that there was someone in the attic, like grabbing his legs, that there was definitely something there. Now that night, he scared the girl working with him so bad that she came downstairs crying that she could not work up there.
Wow.
So, and there is someone in the attic. We now know he was right. And there is someone in the attic. And, I have to be like, he's just trying to scare you. Go back up to work. It's not real.
And let's see here. Jamie says, for me, it's like seeing the heat ripples like above hot asphalt. It signals me that something is present.
Yes.
That's a really, almost like a mirage type.
Yeah.
Yes. Like puddled. I know exactly what she's talking about, because to me, it looks like puddled water, but it's similar to exactly that.
And that makes sense, because of like, when you do see that, it's like an energy coming off anyway. So that actually makes a whole lot of sense. Yeah. And then Trista says, great question. I've wondered the same thing. Daryl asks, he says, have y'all ever come across any aggressive spirits?
Well, obviously not me.
So the spirit, so there are spirits in there that are aggressive, but they're not
Hi, Nikki.
They're not mean-spirited or evil or anything like that. There's 3 spirits there that are more aggressive. One is in the attic, the magician. He'll jump on your head. He lets you know he's there. Absolutely will grab your legs. All the stuff that, like, he's very active. He likes to scare. Last year when the haunt was getting ready to start, my team went in the night before her haunt opened, and he was off the hook. Like, he was like, let's go. Like, let's get this. Like, he couldn't wait for haunt season to start. And then there's a guy in the basement. He's cranky. He is just cranky. He don't want you in his cage. And if you go in his cage, he breathes on your neck. He touches your hair. And if you're a man and you go in his cage, I've had many men go down there and be like, oh, I'm going to go in there. I'll be fine. And then be like, nope, I'm good. Like, and then the other one is Beatrice. And we're not sure if Angie brought Beatrice from the old haunt, which was a brothel at one time. But she is the, like, brothel, like, leader. She's in 1800s clothing with, like, the neck up to here, the dress, like with the hair up. And I told Sarah Grimm, who was just on here saying hi, I told her when her team went in there, I said, Beatrice goes after females. She will tell you to get to work. And Sarah is a medium. Sarah was like, okay. Well, Sarah was in the bar, and right in her ear, Beatrice went, what are you doing? And she got it on EVP. And I was like, that's Beatrice. She wants to know why you're not working. So those are the aggressive spirits, and that's like the extent. Sometimes they will growl if you're in a space for too long. They just get cranky.
Mm-hmm. That's funny that they're trying to make the workers work.
Mhm.
Yeah. They don't do it to Angie though.
Yeah.
So it sounds like, so you had a haunt at other locations, so you must be a sort of a scream queen, if you will.
Yeah, I am the scream queen. Yes, that's what they call me. Yeah, I
Okay.
just love Halloween, horror movies. I'm an October birthday. My mom is, my grandma is, like we just are. So having a haunted attraction was pretty awesome. It just started as a little advertising ploy for my construction company. So I made people walk through our showroom, and we charged $6 to get in. That was 19 years ago. I remember I made it when I had my last kid. So I always know how many years that I've been doing it. And it just turned into a whole new thing, like going from a stage to a stage to a stage. And it is my happy place. So Waldorf is my happy place. I love it. And it's a whole family deal. My whole family's there, including like my sister and her family and my mom. And then now we have people who work for me who their entire families are working, their children and the husband and wife. So it's a really cool thing. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And the time, and as Chris says, what a cool way to start. You know, you hear, I mean, all the time that goes into building these haunts. I mean, it almost takes on a life of its own, because people will start on these like at the start of the summer, sometimes even earlier than that, building, putting the stuff together. Yep.
And it's before the haunt's over, like you said about Paracon. I'm talking about next year and what we're going to change. I say what I'm going to change, and then this year I revamped every single set outside. Got something new. Like, what? I didn't need to do any of that, but I'm like, hey, I want a garage here. Okay, we'll build a garage. Like, yeah, just not little things either. Like, let's put up these 20-foot walls. Yes. Okay. We'll have them done tomorrow. It's just, I don't know. I just get crazy ideas. But luckily I have these guys who work with me, and they'll just go, sure. Yeah. You want it? We'll make it. Yeah. Okay.
Every time I see her, she is doing something else at Waldorf.
How dirty today. It was so hot here today. I meet Brandon Cooper in person, and I look like this last night, and then I look like a wet, soggy, disgusting, dirty. I'm like, hey. I'm like, I know, and I look a little different. He's like, yeah. Yeah. No comments, Brandon. But
Well, let's
I
go ahead.
to give a shout out to Miranda for putting together our backgrounds and all of our artwork. She did a fabulous job, and we really appreciate you, Miranda. It's the first time that I got to meet you, and you're really cool. And yeah, I'm glad that we get to like be in the same space together.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And I've really enjoyed working with you guys on this and the other projects. And I appreciate you pulling me in and allowing me to be a part of it. It's, you know, seeing the stuff come together and helping to kind of, you know, work with y'all to set the theme with the look and feel and stuff. So I do appreciate that. But let's go ahead and kind of talk about this event that's been a year in the making here. I think it's such a cool concept of, like you said, where horror and paranormal collide. It really does gather such a great group of people. And I can't believe the speakers and special guests that you all have.
Yeah, we're super excited. You know, it's really strange that horror people and paranormal people are two different people. Yeah. Like I'm trying to treat paranormal people like horror, and learning that they're not the same, but they should be. So if we can bring them all together, look at that ginormous, huge group of people, you know? So we're trying to like break that. I don't know. What are we breaking the barrier that we can all coincide? And there's some really cool people that we know that do like horror. Like I'm going to do a shout out to one of my favorite people, Lawrence from Mondo Docs. He loves horror. He loves paranormal, but there aren't that many people like him that I've met in the paranormal field. So, yeah, I mean, I want you guys to come to the dark side.
And it's an interesting combination, because to me, they seem like they would fit together because you think about it, but then when you really start to drill down, they're so different. So it really is bringing in a great mix of people, and as Trista says, a para-horicon, So is that kind of the theme of what some of your well, as far as your vendors that you have, or
Oh,
do you
yeah.
have just a
we have
huge mix?
Yeah, we have both, right? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we have a lot of vendors. So the whole house is going to be filled with vendors, guys. So that's really cool. You get to actually walk through the house with the lights on, which I never do. It's just not as scary with the lights on. And so there'll be vendors in all the rooms. You'll actually be walking the path that we do when we run the haunt. And then the outside, our outside area is also full of vendors. We've got a lot of great vendors. We've got food, we got booze, we've got Ouija boards, we've got paranormal groups set up. I mean, it's going to be really cool. I'm really excited to meet everyone. I did meet a lot of people like at the bash and stuff, but there's a lot of new faces, I'm sure, that we're going to meet, and I'm looking forward to that. And I don't know. I think it's going to be awesome.
Some of my favorite people are going to be at this Paracon. And I will say this, Miranda, this whole thing, when I said to Angie, let's have a Paracon, and she was like, sure. She said, sure to everything. I did not know anybody. I did not know anybody that's up there on that screen except for Dave Giuliano. And that's only because he's a local demonologist and I was a team, a baby team, and I needed help. Okay. Other than him, I didn't know any of these people. The past year, I've gotten to know these people, and they're just some of the most beautiful, kindest people. And I just love our lineup. I think we have, I mean, not saying anything bad about other Paracons, but I just absolutely love this lineup of people. They're so genuine. They love the paranormal. And you know what? Santiago Cirillo, I'm going to give a shout out to him because he tied the whole thing together. He brought paranormal and horror, and he became Hell House Paracon.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got to meet him in person there at Gettysburg, and then he was down at the Deep South Paracon last month, and it was great to meet him, and then to also be able to spend more time at the next one, just really getting to know him. And just I echo Matt's comment there. Amazing lineup, and of course Trista loves Santiago.
Yeah.
So kind of talk briefly, and I'm going to pull up and kind of scroll through some of the different things because the Facebook page has a lot of information. You all have been announcing the different people that are going to be there, but kind of talk us through the weekend of what people can expect and what you guys have lined up.
Go ahead, Angie.
Yeah. So Friday night we have a free roam, and that's going to be a lot of our talent, and I don't know what they like to call talent, celebrities, paranormal extravaganza people. I don't know. I call them celebrities when I talk about them. They're going to be there because they haven't gotten to investigate the haunted house at all. So now they'll be able to be inside and investigating, and anyone could buy a ticket to investigate alongside of them. And it is the only free roam that we have ever had. We do private rentals overnight, and we've done special events with like Daryl Marston where you could buy a ticket, but we are taking them around. So that's really cool. That's at 8:00 tomorrow night. There are still tickets available. And then Saturday morning, we are going to kick off at 10:00. I'm hoping that we will be very organized. We've been trying to be steadfastly organized to get our vendors in their spots and ready for 10:00. And we have a full list of speakers. I don't even know. You probably don't even have that. I think we posted it somewhere, but starting at 10:30 in our haunted hangout will be our first speaker. And then every hour is going to be a speaker at our parapodium. And on the half hour will be a speaker at the haunted hangout. So all day long speakers.
Nice.
And
I'm
then
scrolling through to make sure I didn't. Let's see.
We have Connie Koenig doing her gallery reading.
Yes.
She's a shaman. She's Warren Legacy Foundation. She's so many things rolled into one tiny human. She's amazing, and she's going to do our gallery reading. I can't wait. I'm excited for that.
Yeah, that's going to be a good time, right? But afterwards, then we have two things Saturday night. You can investigate with Sam Baltrusis and Richard Estep. That is a limit of 13 people investigating the house with them. And that is from 11 to 2, I think, or 3 in the morning. And if you don't want to do that, you can come party with us. We're having an after party with a bunch of the celebrities we'll be at. And that is at 9, I believe.
And it's catered, and there's a DJ,
There's
and
a
a bar.
DJ,
Your
a
ticket
killer clown
includes-
cocktail. Yeah.
Yeah, your ticket includes the food.
Yes.
Okay.
And it's good food.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's going to be a lot of fun. So it's it's going to be a very long Friday, Saturday. for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Preparing, staying up late every night, working on stuff. So no sleep. We'll manage. We'll sleep when we're dead.
And then Sunday, I'll be messaging her, hey, when do you want to do it next year?
exactly.
Turn the phone
Late.
off.
Yeah. Larissa who?
And then you can message me the next week and say you've already got people lined up and you need posters and everything for
Right.
the next
Crazy.
year.
So crazy.
We don't waste time.
Yeah.
Let's see. Trista says a gallery reading. What's that about?
Okay, so a gallery reading is when a psychic medium will stand in front of a group of people and they will see what messages come through. And, you know, whoever wants to communicate, you know, that usually it's a deceased person from somebody somebody in the audience. So you could be picked, you could have that happen, or you could not. You know, it's kind of dial the other side, really. So whoever you get on the line is who you get.
Right.
And I'm going to pull up because I do have those. You'd mentioned those special events. Let me. I'm pulling those posters up right now. If you all want to continue talking, because I know you've got the. I know the after party event is a really cool thing that you guys were talking about. Okay, so let me. I think
and everyone, if you go to either one of our websites, you will see the banner that you can click through to the Eventbrite, and then you can see all the different things listed and a little explanation about them. And it's super easy. And our ticket sales are still working. I did check today. I just checked before we got on that it's still working. So it is. So we don't have to worry about that. And we are just super excited to meet everybody, see some familiar faces, some new faces. If we're running around crazy, don't think we're being rude to you. We're just running around crazy. Because I don't know what to expect. I'm hoping that all this hard work pays off and it's like clockwork and we can mingle and be around talking to everybody. But I kind of have a feeling it might not happen like that.
It will. No, it will. Look, the amount of organizing that we put into this, it has to happen that way. Like my military brain, my officer brain cannot handle any other course of action.
We will not fail. There's no room for failure.
Well, and that's the thing. A lot of people don't always realize is the fact that most of the time the people who are doing the events, I mean, they don't get the time to enjoy it. It's like a wedding or some other event. You're so busy trying to make sure everything is running smoothly, and there's so many different facets of it that you hardly get the time to really sit and talk to people and enjoy it.
It kind of stinks because Angie is not even going to get to really be at the after party for a lot of it, and I'm not going to be at the other event for a lot of it, and it's just a lot of shifting around. So yeah, we won't get to enjoy. I'm trying to get to Connie's gallery reading. The chances of that are like none. Like it's not
Larissa is literally, she's scheduled to speak with more legacy. I'm like, right, okay. But we're going to list it and everybody else can speak if you're not there. But hopefully it'll all come together and work out.
I'm just trying here, guys.
Yes.
And I really like to the sponsorship that you guys have, where this goes to the Don't Be a Monster anti-bullying program. It's sad that we have to actually have something like that, but what a great cause, because that is something that is really a haunting or an attachment that is something that's bad here in the paranormal community.
Yeah. And I've always had a soft heart for Don't Be a Monster. I think it's a really good organization. And teaching our youth young to not be bullies. It's really what it is about. Because kid bullies turn into adult bullies who teach their kids to be kid bullies, and it's just not not a good mix. And we're all about, we're supposed to be, you guys are para-unity. I know at Waldorf, we're one big happy family. We support each other. We come from all different walks of life, and we're all together. And that's how I think people should be. I mean, the world would be better, wouldn't it, if we all could just get along?
Absolutely.
Or just roll by if you don't like something. Or
Yeah. Both my children work for Angie.
yes.
I mean, I have 4, but the other one's going to be working Saturday too. So yeah, our families are very intertwined. So it is odd to see so much infighting inside of a community. Yeah. And as you know, in the military, I mean, we're cohesive. You need to be looking out for the people next to you. So it's really a hard thing to wrap your head around. But, it's a great cause, and we're excited to do it.
Especially when that's the environment you're used to, and then you step into this, and then it's so foreign. And, but
it's like, what is going on in the paranormal world? You guys are crazy. Like this in the horror world.
You don't know how many phone calls and messages I got from Angela for over the past year. What is wrong with that room? on.
Yeah.
See, I think that's where the true possession lies, and the true attachments lies is what the actual environment of the paranormal does to people. I mean, we see it as location owners, investigators, content creators. It is that's the true haunting, I think, and the true possession is the way this takes over people and they become something unlike what you would think they would be. Like I said, just going through the comments here. Chris says y'all are the nicest people.
Chris. Where's Chris?
She's I don't know. I guess she's at her house watching, I guess.
You two owe me a night out, okay?
We do. That was the thing. We got to finally meet y'all in person there in Gettysburg. And, we didn't even go out, and we met up with some of her family, and we were so tired after everything. We didn't even go out and get to spend time with people. And it's always... Yeah, and it's always cool because I refer to the people, from Facebook land as the people that live in my phone, because that's the only time that I really see them. Yeah. And so to get to meet them in person, it was really cool to finally be able to meet you guys. Let's see. Ronnie says, where would you go to get information on a private investigation?
Laurissa, you're Eventbrite. So
So if you go to my website, there is a tab dedicated to private rentals, and the 2024 schedule is out. It's at the bottom, Miranda. It says private. No, it's okay. Private rental. No, and the tabs at the top. There's so many tabs. There's so many tabs.
There we go.
Hey, I know you do flyers. You do websites too.
I do it. No, it's actually very well laid out. I'm very, very easy to go through. I just apparently cannot see and work.
Well, the 2024 schedule is out. We have had some people book, but you know what? Angie, she travels a lot during the year. I travel a lot during the year. And if there are dates there that don't work for you and you want to do another date, you can always message us, because 9 times out of 10, it's going to be me letting you in anyway. So, if it's during the week or if it's a Sunday or something, we'll work with you.
Right.
Okay. It just pulled up. So
Not me letting them in, Miranda. It's really my husband. I made that sound like I'm the person doing that work, and it's not me.
Right. If I'm not around, they can, they can do it. If they're not around, I can do it. We can work it out. Yeah.
There we go. So there's a button right there. If you click on the private rental of Hell House and you scroll down, there is a button right there. And so you just go through. So it looks like you go through Eventbrite.
Yes.
Okay. Perfect.
I don't know how to get my website to put payments on it. So.
Hey, keep it easy and keep it simple.
Right. Yeah. Use someone else's platform. It costs a fortune to have it on your website.
Oh, it does. Never mind.
Have a shopping cart. Yeah.
Let's see here.
So we need to give a shout out to Paraflex. Paraflex is our main sponsor for Hell House, and we are so excited to have Natalie Jones with us. we're going to see her tomorrow, and we can't wait to actually finally, like you said, meet. We know what she looks like. We know what her voice is, but we actually get to meet her. She's a real person. We can touch her. So we're super excited for that. And we appreciate all the help she's been giving us. And really, we've gotten a lot of help from a lot of people. Some good advice from Sam Baltrusis. He runs Mass Paracon. And who else? Lisa
Radio.
Yeah.
She does Scanning the Frequencies Radio.
Yes.
I'm sorry, but I got to give a shout out to Dave Childers, because
of course,
that man lives in my phone.
Yes.
His voice lives in my phone.
Yes.
Right? So he's talking to me like, what? And it's funny. I play a message and my husband's like, that guy again.
That's so funny because it's the same way. I'll wake up, I have a message from David, I have his voice, and then I have yet to meet him in person. And of course,
so fun.
Yeah. And so we were supposed to be at several Paracons together, Deep South, Gettysburg, and he's just had unfortunate events coming up. And so I have yet to be able to put a body with the voice.
Yeah. He's fun. Yeah.
He's a lot. You're going to love him. Oh my God.
Yeah. He's a lot of fun. I also have to give a shout out. We're going to give a shout out to Jimmy J from Horror 365. He's been making videos for us. He's crazy. He's fun. And he is a sponsor of the Haunted Hangout. So he is going to be at Paracon this weekend. And he is an awesome guy. He's helping me. I'm putting on another event, so I'm going to shout out my own event. I have a Friday the 13th Slasher Weekend event coming up. October, we have a Friday the 13th, and I have 5 celebrities from Friday the 13th, Part 5, coming to have a reunion at the Waldorf that weekend. And we're going to have a great time, and he's been helping me with that. And we honestly, Laurissa and I, we couldn't be anywhere without advice and guidance from people who have done it or in the industry. Because, I mean, yeah, let's have a Paracon. Sure. Where do we start? Sure. I literally, no hesitation. Sure. And then I'm like, what did I just get myself into? More than I thought. Yeah. So we really had a lot of people help influence us with what we're doing. Daryl Marston has become a great influencer to us, and we talk to him about things. And so we're really lucky to have found great people. I mean, Miranda, you've helped us with stuff. Yeah. We literally ask you, what do you think? You know, because we don't know, or we think we know, and maybe we do, but.
And you know what? And Brandon Cooper. And you know, honestly, I'm going to be honest. The lineup, these people are now actually part of our paranormal family. They are now friends. It's so much more than just having a face on a poster.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
The amount of and Connie Koenig too, the amount of times that I have talked to these people over the year and asked them questions, and dumb questions too, and they have helped me, and I'm like, oh, that makes sense, so it definitely just friendships form there.
Absolutely. And folks can find all of this information. We did flash the link up on there, but on the Waldorf Estate of Fear page, you can't make it much easier than that with your schedule and your events that are coming up, links to buy tickets right there. I mean, it don't get much easier than that.
Yeah.
Angie even made a map on a sketchbook page.
I am not an artist, but just to have them, for our vendors to have an idea of where they're going when they get there. Nice. And we gave a shout out. We tried to do the best. Laurissa did a great job with doing banners for all the vendors, because without vendors, you don't have a Paracon. Right. And so we wanted them to have something that they could share with everybody. And I saw people make comments that, oh, wow, usually vendors don't get something like that. Well, they should.
They should,
very important. Talent's one thing, but.
Yeah, you got to advertise them. I mean, they're coming there to, they want to make money too, So
I talked to someone, and he's like, even if I, the weather's going to be bad, I don't know if I can make it, but I wanted to support you, so it doesn't matter. And I was like, that's really sweet. It's someone you don't even really know. You just met for 10 minutes and they're like, hey, we're going to support you. So as much as we talked about the bullying, there is para-unity with a lot of people, and we appreciate everyone that's been helping us. Yeah.
Absolutely. And if folks go on to the Hell House Paracon Facebook page, they can go through the posts, they can go through the photos, they can find all of these links and posters that you guys have put up that lead to there. So I definitely encourage you all to do that, because that is such a cool touch, especially for the vendors, because you're right. You don't know what to expect. And if someone's going to come, if they see all these vendors lined up, they know that they're in for a full day, that they need to come, they need to bring their money, and they need to bring their time and see who all's there at the event.
Yeah. I've had people who are not into paranormal at all. My nephew, he's running security. He's like, how many vendors do you have? Like, the whole place is going to be full. He's like, I gotta go to the ATM before I come. I'm like, good. Yes. There's going to be cool stuff. Right.
How many vendors do you guys have?
I was trying to,
thank you, Jamie.
Yeah. I think it is right. Yeah. Well, yeah, that should be a close number. Some people bought more than one spot, so it might show up.
Oh,
yeah.
right.
But it's very, very close to that. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And as Chris says, use cash, not square.
Yes.
Just in case.
Cash
hopefully.
Cash and Venmo.
Yes.
That's what we're taking. So
can I shout out Hell House for something else coming up?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. So there's two big projects that are going to be happening in 2024. One of them I can't tell you because I made an NDA for myself. So we can't tell you, but it will take place at Hell House and it's going to be huge. There's going to be some really great people involved in that project. The second one is, if you didn't know, Dark Echoes Paranormal Show Season 1 just made it to Amazon Prime. Season 2, we're going to kick it off over at Hell House. So
right on.
look for that on that show.
Nice.
Fun
nice. Stuff. And just looking at some of these comments over here, again, thank you all so much for commenting your questions. Trista, she's one I met at the Deep South Paracon. I love the friendships that come from these events. We've met some incredible people who are the sweetest and now some of our closest friends. So definitely true.
One of them's in my house.
Is that really a person or?
No, it's blurry, right? So I touched his beard by accident. But this guy, like, talk about making a friend. Out of the blue, he calls me up and he's like, "Hey, you want to come down to a haunted campground?" I'm like, and
she said sure. And she said sure.
And I'm the only person. He told me, he's like, "I've never known a woman that would just get in their car and drive 13 hours to a haunted location in the woods."
Right, but I can't.
Army vet, though, so.
And what about my husband just letting me go too? He's like, "You're worth more dead." I look back on that and I'm like, damn.
Right.
Listen, if you've met Laurissa, you know she can handle herself.
Yeah, I'll be okay.
No doubt. So, so Laurissa, you've got a lot of events coming up here with your event company with Third Eye, and I actually want to go ahead and pull your website back up again. Let me find this. I've got so many tabs open right here, so bear with me, y'all. Let's see.
Angie's gonna get a headache when she sees them all.
I think I have that here. Well, I may have, actually, it's not showing up here. Go ahead and talk just about a few things that you guys have going on. And I'm going to,
Sure.
Okay, I found it here.
Talk amongst yourselves.
There you go.
So we have the rest of the year, we're going to have the October 6th, we're going to be at Wilson Castle. And that's with Dave Childers. And that's a partial fundraiser. The castle needs some work. It's beautiful. So that's what's happening October 6th. There's only 5 tickets left for that.
Oh, wow.
Right. October 20th, we're going to be out in Huntington, Pennsylvania at the Haunted Clifton Theater doing the screening of Hell House Director's Cut. We're going to have the clown with us. There's going to be the movie feature at 8 p.m. Your ticket includes that. It includes a soda and popcorn. And then the paranormal investigation. If you do VIP, you can absolutely sleep inside of the theater with us. And that's very limited. Plus you get a pizza dinner in addition to that. And a souvenir package of equipment and footage. So yeah, that's what's going on then. November 3rd, paranormal excavation of coal mine number 9. I heard you talking about a cave earlier. We're doing a
Yes.
coal mine, 1,600 feet underground.
Wait,
Oh
I'm
my
going to be there for that. I'm coming to that. Yeah.
Yeah. Then we're taking a break.
It's
So
Christmas.
I don't get divorced.
The second best holiday, Christmas.
Oh, what do you mean?
Second best holiday behind
yeah.
Halloween.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
But then the ones we have coming up next year, and I'll name them real quick. We have the Paranormal March on the Knickerbocker Hotel. That's the first event that Third Eye is going to have. And Knickerbocker is out in Linesville, PA, right on the border of Ohio. Very haunted, very cool. Peg Nick, who owns it, is a Knickerbocker. Unbelievable place. Yes, I love her and I love that place. Then on April 18th and 19th, we are doing, 19th and 20th, we're doing a 2-day event with the Warren Legacy director, Joe Frankie, who was one of the original or the original student of Ed and Lorraine Warren, and Dr. Ken Torres from the foundation. Plus I'm in the foundation. So we're going to be doing that Haunted Hillview and Greene County Poor Farm 2-night event. Again, VIP, you can book a tour with any one of us. And then we have Lake Shawnee, Dave Childers, Daryl Marston. Again, that place is amazing. We were just there in June with Brandon. Then
It was all right.
yeah, it was okay.
It was all right.
Then we have June, we have Valerie Hill Vineyards, Haunted Valerie Hill Vineyards. That place is awesome as well. And there's a long story there, but I won't waste your time. But anyway, it's never had an event done. So we're going to be the first company there. And that ticket includes wine, food. So it's kind of cool. Then we have Black Swan Inn with Dave Childers. I don't know if you're picking up on this, but I kind of love Dave. He might be my paranormal crush. So
It's that voice.
it has to be. It's the accent. So we're going to do that. That again is a really limited ticket event because there's only so many rooms in this inn. I think there's 7 rooms. So again, real small group experience. Then we don't have anything in August, and we are considering another Hell House, but we don't know yet. Another Hell House Paracon.
And we'll do halfway to Halloween.
Halfway. Yes.
Yeah.
That's right. Cinco de Mayo is also halfway to Halloween.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what it is? I don't even know. Sure. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. And yeah, we might include some, some booze. No, I don't know if we're gonna do that.
Booze, spirit.
Yes, my book, yes.
Then on November 2nd, huge event, second hugest one, or third hugest is not a word, but third biggest. After halfway to Halloween in Paracon, we're doing Haunt Manor in Ontario. One of I think it's the biggest haunted attraction in Canada. It's on a battlefield, one of the bloodiest battles in Canada's history. And it's 7 buildings and it's a haunted attraction. And he's never done an event like this. So we are super excited to do this. Santiago Cirillo, Dave Childers, Jamie Gordon is going to be helping me with that event. The Granite Ghost Girls event company is going to help us. So it's going to be huge. And then finally, we're going to wrap up the year with the paranormal pilgrimage at Fort Mifflin. I don't know who's on that banner yet, but we're going to do a Thanksgiving dinner. It's going to be November 23rd. I keep looking at my dates up there. November 23rd. I'm not sure who we're going to have there on our banner, like I said, but Fort Mifflin was awesome this year, and I'm sure it won't disappoint next year.
Yeah, the pictures you guys had from Fort Mifflin this year, I mean, it was a full house. And Greg O'Brien, I mean, come on.
I love him.
You can't beat him and that location. I only got to spend just a few minutes at Fort Mifflin when I got off the plane there, and Christy picked me up. We were going to do Lizzie Borden house, and we stopped there and went in during the middle of the day and got just some great EVPs just walking in there at the casemate. I mean, that place was just so cool. And so I can't wait to go back and actually do an investigation.
It is. And as you know, our Haunted Lives are, they're partnered with Third Eye, and they will be at some of these events. Like I know they're going to be at Valerie Hill. They want to go to Haunt Manor. So they're going to be going live from these locations. And so shout out to Christy and David, because I love them too.
Yes, I got to meet them down at Brandon's Paracon there at Haunting at the Mill, and such great people, and they were great MCs for the event.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, like I said, just making sure I haven't missed any comments. We're going to be wrapping everything up here in just a few minutes. So I want to make sure if anyone has any questions, you get those in. Matthew says 2024 season 2 filming. And Dawn says that she so wishes she could travel to some of these places. You guys, I mean, I have not seen a busier event company, or, you know, I mean, you all always have something going on. So lots of things, and
It's crazy.
lots of, right?
Yeah.
Lots of things to do. And so tickets still available to some of the events, correct?
Yes. October 6th is almost sold out. So
Okay, perfect. Let's see here. Like I said, just making sure I'm not missing anyone. Chris says, great job, ladies. Congrats to you both. And we definitely have got to get up that way and investigate the location and check out some of these different events and some of these places that you all are at. So got to get down here to this area.
I'm gonna come down there. I'm just gonna run away. I'm going there.
Hey, we've got jail cells here, beds in the jail cells. So
You're all set.
I can leave this prison to go to that one.
Yeah, it's like your own little retreat. And as Jamie says, Laurissa is teaching me everything she knows, which means I may be dead in a year.
It's a good possibility.
Oh my God.
Well, we'll come and talk to you. We'll talk to you through EVP if that happens. So. But ladies, I can't thank you all enough because I know how busy you are, especially getting ready for this weekend. And I wish you so much luck on that. And I can't wait to see pictures and hear how it goes.
Thank you.
Thank you. I can't wait to see you again.
Yes, absolutely. Hopefully, you know, we're busy down here with spooky season and everything with all of our pretty much every weekend right now with all of our haunted tours and everything. And then I'm getting ready for season 6 of Ghost Bikers. So hopefully we're going to be kicking that off. Yeah, kicking that off real soon. Great. So, and then Jamie also says, love you ladies. This was super fun to watch and the con is going to be amazing. So if you'll stick around just a few minutes, I'm going to go ahead and kind of wrap things up and I'll say goodbye to you all. And of course, the floating beard back there behind you.
Thank you for having me on, Miranda, even with him.
Come pet my beard for charity Saturday.
Do you get good luck? Is that what happens?
Sure.
I don't know if Larissa's going to make it.
He's here till Monday.
Yeah.
Oh, God. All right. Well, I'll talk to you ladies here soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, everyone. Thank you all so much for sticking with us tonight, watching the show and with your questions and your comments. It's been such a great time. I know so much work goes into these events and these Paracons. And so definitely go on there, check them out. If you're in the area, go by and visit, support the vendors, support the locations, support the content creators who are speaking at these events. I mean, there's just a whole lot going on that you're definitely going to want to be a part of. And like I said, we did mention a few things there at the top of the hour with that's going on. Don't forget about the Spirits of Deadwood. That's going to be September 29th and 30th. We will have more information about that. Again, go back and watch the episode where they talk about what Sacred Mountain Retreats does, what the funds from this does, because I mean, our first responders, our veterans, something that is extremely important. And this is going to be an event for a great cause. So September 29th and 30th. Also, don't forget about Ghost Biker Hogs and Haunts Weekend in London, Kentucky, October 14th and 15th. That is going to be a great weekend. We're going to try to have Chris from Wildcat Harley Davidson, as well as Kelly from London Laurel Tourism Commission. We're going to try to have them on the show, talk more about it. We've also got some videos that I'm working on from last year's event, from the motorcycle ride and from the investigation. Last year we did motorcycle ride where we stopped at several different locations there in London, Kentucky. We got to see the battlefield there at Wildcat Battlefield reenactment. Also got to eat at Sanders Cafe, the very first Kentucky Fried Chicken, where Harlan Sanders is from, and also Cumberland Falls there in southern Kentucky. Great stops. We talked about some of the legends and the history and some of the hauntings along that motorcycle ride, and then had an amazing investigation there at the Levi Jackson Memorial Pioneer Village there. So lots of great things happened last year, and we're expecting an even bigger year this year. So watch for more information on that, and something special, because again, we're trying to promote tourism to the area of London, Kentucky. If you do spend a night there at one of the hotels there in London, Kentucky, and you're participating in either the meet and greet, the investigation, or even the motorcycle ride, bring your receipt and you will get a special swag bag. I've got some Ghost Biker swag. I think Harley's pitching in, London, Kentucky's pitching in. It's going to be a really cool thing for folks if you spend the night there at one of the hotels there in London, Kentucky. And then, of course, check out historyhighwayshaunts.com, which is my company and my business partner's company. We do run the historic Scott County Jail here, as well as historic Rugby After Dark tours. Historic Rugby was just highlighted in Southern Living magazine's magazine that just came out this past month, which is a big deal. So they were highlighted there, and we were mentioned for our haunted tours. So definitely go check that out. Book one of the tours. Get on the schedule here for September and October. You're going to be glad you did, because we've got some really, really cool things coming up. You can find all the information on this website. It does lead you to the historic Rugby After Dark page, as well as the historic Scott County Jail page, and you can go on there and book. And again, if you're having issues, I don't know what the heck that was. Something either pecking on the window or pecking on the wall over there. I don't know if you guys could hear that. That was really kind of weird. But if you can't get a booking, definitely go and give us a call at 423-663-5353. And so I'm going to go ahead, wrap everything up here. And yeah, it looks like other people heard that. Don't know what that was. Anyways, yes, as Chris said, we do have a new gift shop announcement that we're going to be making tomorrow here from the jail. If you followed the page, you kind of know what we're talking about, but we are revamping our gift shop here at the jail. And we've got some really cool items just in and ready for purchase. We were going to make that announcement today, except we weren't. We didn't with Square and everything. It really just kind of messed everything up. So boo Square. Anyways, so thank you all again so much for watching. Be on the lookout for more announcements about Ghost Biker Exploration Season 6. If you caught the show with Brandon Cooper last week, you did hear me make a special announcement about that. I will be announcing a little bit more here in the trailer. So that will be every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern during the month of October. And then on Thursday nights, it will be followed up by a live with where we'll be talking about the location that's been investigated, having some special guests on, and really just going through and maybe even reviewing the episode and talking about everything that was captured. So again, definitely keep an eye out on all the pages that we've got going on here, and got some cool things planned here for September. We'll be announcing next week's guest here in a few days, so be on the lookout for that. But go on, watch some of the past episodes, catch up on seasons 1 through 5 of Ghost Biker, and join us where we'll talk about all of this and much more in the weeks to come as we build up toward the season. Also, go and support our content creators and folks that we've had on the show. Here. So again, until next week, I hope everyone has a wonderful week, and thank you again for spending your valuable time with us. Good night.